My Israeli friends asked me, where was God on October 7? Professor Porat is adding in this breaking point in which we find ourselves another question. Where was man? Where was the human race? Back then, on October 7, and since then. A year ago, we experienced a very emotional turmoil of anger, sadness, disappointment, and mainly a state of a shock. Why were we in shock? Why? I guess it's hard to believe that after 80 years since the Holocaust, people still have some hate in them, in their minds and in their hearts. October 7 tragedy is not foreign to us in any way. We have experienced through our history hate, persecution, and anti-Semitism. Remember the Spanish Inquisition in 1481? So there is a very nice folk story that took place in a city in Spain, Sevilla, when a terrible crime occurred and nobody knew who did it. But of course, they wanted to blame the Jews. So the Grand Inquisitor decided that the Jews must be fault, and he went to the Rabbi Pinchas, and his community, and he decided that they're going to pay the price. Okay? So the rabbi was put on trial, but since the jury did not have literally any evidence to support the charges against them, they decided to put the matter in the hands of God and draw lots to prove if they're guilty or not. So the inquisitor placed 2 rolled pieces of paper in a box. He claimed that one of the papers said guilty and the other one said not guilty. The smart rabbi knew that he's being they hate him, right? And they want him dead. So he decided that he's going to be smarter than them. And what did he do? He actually, before anybody could actually tell, he took one piece of paper and swallowed it. The inquisitor got mad, but the rabbi said, "What's the problem? I have a solution." And that was to read the note that actually was left in the box, right? If it says guilty, then it's obvious that he swallowed the not guilty one. To no surprise, what happened, of course, they looked at the paper, and of course, the paper was left in the box was the one said guilty, and the rabbi had to be set free. The rabbi was smart enough to know that they won't give him a fair chance, and that both pieces of paper will say guilty. So yes, we all know, and we very much like the idea that people think that we're smart, but we don't like the idea that people do not like us and hate us enough to actually want to kill us and want us dead. But since we are smart, and remember, right, because we are smart, we should shake off all our sadness of this knowledge to know that this is nothing new and we will overcome, just like we overcame many, many times before in our history, starting with Pharaoh. Only this time, after what happened, can we still have faith in the human race? How many more times will we be put in a situation where we have to swallow the word guilty without choking? The Rambam gives instructions to conduct a frank and poignant examination following the experience of an affliction. What are we to understand from our devastation? We should know better that sometimes we just can't have all the answers. Often we just cannot understand how no matter what we do, and we will still be blamed, even if we're protecting our own homeland from being attacked. So, if you cannot change others or control them or control the situations, let's take advantage of our high holidays to rise higher than the world can ever imagine. Take time to allow ourselves to improve, upgrade our version, and download more kindness apps. Care about what we can actually control, our own feelings and behavior, to keep getting better and better in spite and because of what happened to us. Edgar Karat, and I know somebody invited me to see him, he comes fairly often to United States. He's an Israeli author, and he wrote a story about a bus driver who would never open the door of the bus for people who were late. Not for anyone, not for little old ladies or very good-looking ladies, not for anyone. So, if you want to get on the bus, guess what? You have to be on time. The person who should have suffered the most from the bus driver was named Eddie. But unlike other people, Eddie did not even try to run to the bus. He just did not care enough. So one day, it all changed when he fell in love with a girl that he met at work, and she actually agreed to meet with him the next day. Now, things changed. Eddie cared. But Eddie had a condition, one that already caused him to miss out on all sorts of things in life. This sickness always, for some reason, made him oversleep by exactly 10 minutes, and no alarm clock could actually do any good. Except that this time, since happiness was at stake, Eddie decided to beat the condition, and instead of taking a nap, he stayed awake. Just to be on the safe side, he lined up 3, not 1, but 3 alarm clocks, and even ordered a wake-up call. But this sickness was too hard and was incurable, and Eddie fell asleep. He woke up in sweat exactly 10 minutes later. And he rushed out of the house and ran towards the bus, and he ran like crazy because now he had something to lose. Nothing was going to get in his way except for the bus driver. Remember the bus driver? Who had just closed the door and was just beginning to pull away. Except that Eddie, for the first time in his life, really wanted to get somewhere on time. And that's why he went on chasing the bus, even though he didn't have a chance. But suddenly, 100 yards past the bus stop, there was a traffic light. And just a second before the bus reached it, the traffic light changed to red. Eddie managed to catch up with the bus. He didn't even bang on the glass. He was too weak. He just looked at the driver with teary eyes, and he fell on his knees, panting and wheezing. And this reminded the bus driver something from the past, from the time that he wanted to be God. And suddenly, the driver remembered how he had once promised that if he would become God, he would be a very merciful and kind God. So, when he looked at Eddie straight in the eyes, he simply couldn't go through with it, and he opened the door. This story is fictional, I'm sorry to tell you, but it has a hidden truth to it, which we can actually relate to in our everyday life. It offers us comfort as we try to get to the bus, even after a big tragedy that left us broken and in disbelief. How many of us made an extra effort to make it today to temple on time? Why? Maybe because you heard the sound of the shofar, maybe because you heard the horrible news. And now that we made it, the doors are open, waiting for all of us to come in, to start a new year and a period of repentance and self-reflection. So you might ask, who is Eddie? And who is the bus driver that wanted to be God? Well, we all are, if we only choose and want to be. Since October 7, everyone is asking me, how are my parents doing in Israel? And my answer is, they are okay. How can I say that? Because they are. Why? What option do they have? Right? They don't have any options. And we did not have many options during our past. Israel, you should know, is a very strong nation that is not afraid of a long bus ride. And we have to keep the faith that we will reach our destination to peace one day. The Jewish people are also not too shabby. They're strong as well. We are stronger together as we keep our faith in God and in the human race. So to answer, where is God? On the bus, a temple, tomorrow when the ark is open, just before Ne'ilah. So the answer is, God is everywhere. We might not see him, but we should feel the power. When we are together. It is up to us, open the bus doors to others as the bus driver. It is up to us to maintain them open as a passenger for others that maybe are running late and needs a little bit of help. Most importantly, we should forgive ourselves for our conditions that is holding us back from getting there in the first place. Let's try to look around us before we get on the bus to see who else need our help to get on the bus. We sing, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Hear how good and how pleasant to sit brothers and sisters together. This is where God is. This is where the power shines in our unity. I'm happy to see all of you here tonight. We made it so far, and it's a great start to continue something that we already started. And with that, I want to wish you Gmar Chatima Tova.